And you give Greg Hardy, we were watching on social media, so we didn't get to see it exactly, but it sounds like kind of a develomental deal for Greg. Is that explain what's happening?
If you see him, you see that he has power. He's a big heavyweight. He needs to work more. I mean, he needs to get some more fights. You know, we've done deals where, for example, Cyborg was under contract with the UFC but fought in Invicta. You know, Alexa Grasso was under contract with the UFC. Mackenzie Dern was under contract with the UFC and fought in other places. So I have a few ideas of what to do with this guy and let him develop. And, you know, he's with a great team already. He's training with great guys. They say he's a hard worker. You know, they say all positive things about him out of that gym. So, you know, we'll try to build him up and see what he can do. When
guys are on deals like that, are you involved in the matchmaking for him, even though it's taking place in other promotions?
Yeah, definitely. And the way I see it is what I'd love to do in a perfect world. This is not what I'm doing, but in a perfect world, this is what I'd like to do. If he can turn around and come back, I'd like to have him fight in the last episode of the Contender series. Then I'd like to put him on a bunch of looking for a fight cards, you know, and get him some experience, and then we'll decide when we think he's ready for the UFC.
And we talked about it a little bit the other night, but, you know, with him being under UFC contract now, his past gets brought up every time, right, what he went through. I mean, how do you deal with that? Because what people are saying is, you know, how do you apply it equally to people? You know, you said in the past, we don't put up to that. You touch a woman, never. You know what I mean? So how do you apply the policy consistently, and how do you justify having him under deal?
You know, we've had lots of different situations here. The reality is, if this guy stays clean for the next 10 years, goes on to win a world title, becomes one of the greatest mixed martial artists to ever live, he's always going to be looked at. He's always going to hear it. And that's always going to be in the story that's written about him. Other opponents he fights are going to call him, a woman beater, and that's going to follow him for the rest of his life. You don't shake that. That stays with you forever. You know. And he's done all the things right so far. You know, the guy paid his dues. He hit rock bottom. He built himself back up, and you know, the guy's out there trying to make a life and a living.
Dana, knowing what you just said, that will follow him around, it'll now be associated with, I guess, your brand. You know, so is there any concern, I guess, over that?
I mean, it's gonna happen anyway. I mean, we've had situations with other guys. People make mistakes. People always make mistakes, and the thing about making mistakes is, how do you recover from that? How do you act after you've done something bad? This guy has paid his dues, and like I said, he hit rock bottom. He built himself back up. He's got out there and you know, he's fighting in these amateur fights where he doesn't get paid. Now he came here, and I think he made 10-10, and he's working his way back up the ladder. He's doing the right thing. He's off drugs. He's off alcohol, and he's trying to change his life. You know, you can point the finger at a guy all you want, but you can't look down at a guy for trying to turn his life around and trying to be a better person. And I believe that's what he's doing. And obviously, he's the type of athlete and the type of guy that if he does anything wrong, there will be no mercy for him. I mean, everybody's gonna jump on him. But as far as you talk to the people in his camp, they love the guy. Men and women, they think he's a great guy, and a guy who was probably doing drugs, drinking, and made a big mistake.
How did your paths come together, yours and Greg Hardy's, and what was your initial reaction?
Well, when we started getting this season together for looking for a fight, no, that's not the show. When we got this season together for Dana White's Contender series, do me a favor too, when you guys write about this, call it Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender series, because the Contender is coming back. Okay. We might have a problem if you guys just throw down the Contender or the UFC's. Please write the full name out when you write stories about it, please, to save me one more headache in my crazy ass world. But
how did your paths?
So when we were putting this season together for Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender series, we they approached us, and he had 3 amateur fights, and he wanted to fight here. So we sat down, we debated it, we made some calls, we did a little bit of homework, and then we decided to do it and give him a shot.
Did you meet him in person first and
No,
test him out?
Meeting him wasn't as important to me as talking to the people who were around him every day, people who didn't know him and people who started to train with him at the gym. And that was really what I was looking for. And I got nothing but rave reviews about the guy. So from men, women, the coaches, Dan Lambert, everybody.